The subject of our next story has found a way to combine his passion for motorcycling with his desire to make a difference.
From June 26th to July 14th, pharmacist and Halifax resident Jim Best will embark on a cross-country motorcycle adventure that will take him from Halifax to Vancouver to raise awareness and money for Cystic Fibrosis Canada.
Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease that affects the digestive system and lungs, often resulting in ongoing lung infections and destruction of lung tissue.
CF Canada is a national charitable corporation that is committed to finding a cure for cystic fibrosis.
Over the course of his trip, Jim hopes to raise $10,000. Halifax's Laura Bain met up with him before the beginning of his epic ride.
It's an understatement to say Jim Best loves riding his sport bike.
It's my way of getting out and feeling free and clearing my head, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Jim's upcoming CF Motorcycle Cross Canada Tour will actually be his third major trip to raise money for Cystic Fibrosis Canada.
In 2014, I rented a Harley-Davidson in Boston and traveled over 28 days to San Francisco. It was about 8,700 kilometers. And then in 2015, I did Ireland. And the reason I chose Ireland is per capita, it's the highest in the world for CF patients.
As he spruces up his bike for his cross-Canada trip, Jim reflects on the adventures to come.
Feeling really excited about doing it. This has been something I've wanted to do for about the past 5 years. I've always wanted to do Canada, raising money for Cystic Fibrosis Canada as per my other 2 trips. I think this will be kind of the crown jewel of the 3 trips, definitely the most personal for me and most fulfilling, I think.
Jim has lived with cystic fibrosis all his life and often has trouble breathing. He does a steroid-based aerosol at least daily to help with that. In addition, Jim lives on a high-fat, high-protein diet just to maintain his weight. But driving a bike long distances burns a huge amount of calories.
When I did the US trip initially, I had ended up in San Francisco about 20 pounds lighter than when I had started. And actually I was hospitalized for a few weeks after getting back to have a little bit of a tune-up for IV antibiotics. So there was a few things I definitely learned on that trip that I'll be taking into this one.
Jim will wear a special mask under his helmet.
And it basically just kind of looks like a surgeon's mask that you fit over your ears, and that's got a little valve on it for breathing.
When I'm on the roads, on the highways and interstates, there's a lot of exhaust and particulate that comes off the roads. So I try and wear that as I'm driving on the motorcycle. A lot of patients with cystic fibrosis who undergo lung transplants and those who are a little bit more run down wear them as a daily user. And for myself, I find getting on the bike and having something to help filter the air out that I'm breathing in under the helmet is a big help by the end of the day.
Not only does Jim have to be in good shape, his bike has to be in tip-top condition too. Right now, Jim is consulting with his father, Hal, a lifelong biker, over a clutch issue that needs attention before Jim hits the road.
But it's still not firing quite right anyway. Take a look and see if you can hear the difference.
Hal enthusiastically supports the idea of Jim's cross-Canada trip.
He impresses me all the time, really, with the things he does. He just goes out and does it. And things that I myself probably wouldn't even thought of doing, or trying or whatever. And like I said, it's just, I never have to look for anybody to impress me. I've said that before. And I just have to look towards my son. I'm impressed with my son. Yeah.
Do you want to get out on the road, maybe feel it out and see if you can hear the difference?
Yeah, I'll ride behind you, see if I hear anything. Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
The Canadian trip isn't just about raising money.
This year in particular, I'm going to be wearing an armband with some of the names of people that I've talked to their family and friends who have passed away, and they've had their battle with CF. And I think for me, it's a more personal goal to try and get to Vancouver, in memory of them.
Jim thinks this might be his last big trip.
It's also a realization that, as lung function declines, there's a bit of limitations that you have to relearn as things go along. And unfortunately, this might be my last one that I do take, but I couldn't have asked for a better place to do it, and a bike that I've had going through pharmacy school and really coming into adulthood with, to kind of ride off into the sunset with it. Couldn't ask for a better situation. So.
I can't believe that's Jim's third cross-country trip. That's a lot of kilometers.
Jim named his motorcycle Jenny, and his plan is to retire Jenny in Vancouver and fly home at the end of his trip.
But he doesn't plan to stop riding anytime soon.
For sure, and Jim is definitely making a difference in the fight against cystic fibrosis.
If you want to contribute to Jim's efforts or check in on his journey, you can find him on Facebook by searching CF Motorcycle.